So we are discussing about the blender. So food industries, cosmetic industries, pharmaceutical industries, and chemical industries, we are going to use double cone blenders. Coming to merits, large quantity of material can be easily handled. So large batch sizes useful. Requires minimum maintenance, and it can easily be cleaned and maintained. And easily operated with easy charging and discharging of material. Demerits important, requires large headspace for installation. Place చాలా ఎక్కువ తీసుకుంటుంది. That's the major demerit. Second demerit or limitation is insufficient shearing force. It's not suitable for material having large difference in particle size. Small difference in particle size ఉంటే okay, large difference ఉంటే set కాదు. So these are the two demerits of double cone blender. So double cone blender lo one thing we should remember is principle involved in it. So principle, what we are saying, it produces homogeneous solid mixing. Equipment involves axial moving of the powder. Then construction law, we said there are two cone shaped sections joined together. So that is the second important thing to be remembered. Then limits లో గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలండి. హెడ్ స్పేస్ required is more and insufficient shearing force is there. These two are limitations. Uses, we use this in food, cosmetic, chemical, textile industry. Sorry, textile garden, pharmaceutical industries. Next is very important. We can call it as a twin shell blender, or you can call it as a V cone blender. Very, very important. You can see by its shape, its cone. So V shape cone ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి we are calling it V shape blender. So principle involved here is diffusion. Please note down the point. Twin shell blender works on the principle of diffusion, involving small scale random movement of solid particles. So when the particles are spread over freshly developed interference, diffusion blending occurs. So diffusion blending will lead to high degree of homogenization. So this can't be seen with double cone blender, but diffusion is seen in V cone blender. Next, construction. Twin shell blender or V cone blender contains two cylinders. Occur two cones are there, here two cylinders located at such an angle that it forms a V-shaped structure. This shape provides a non-symmetric form, but rotational axis provides effective mixing. So simple structure చూసుకోండి. Principle గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. Diffusion. Structure గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. V-shaped one. And two cylinders are joined in such a shape that they such a way that they give V-shaped structure గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలండి. Working వచ్చేసి twin cell cylinder or blender shows two hollow cylindrical cells. ఇది important. Joined at 75 to 90 degrees angle. This you should remember. And the blender is supported by uh, true unions and easily tumbles. The material within the container splits and recombines. Is important. Material splits and recombines as it tumbles, thus promoting mixing the material freely and randomly. So this is the important thing. Uses commonly commonly you can see that it is used in blending the wet material. It can be greatly used for friable and solid material mixing. It's used for like varying density material mixing, and it is used in powder formulations and granulations. These are the uses you can see, and demerits very important. Again, same large headspace is required and insufficiency of shearing force. So these two demerits we don't see in upcoming equipment, that is homogenizers. High shear, high pressure homogenizer లో ఈ షేరింగ్ స్ట్రెస్ ఇష్యూ ఉండదు. రిబ్బన్ బ్లెండర్ లో కూడా ఈ షేరింగ్ స్ట్రెస్ ఇష్యూ ఉండదు. బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ribbons, shearing stress can be overcome. So this is V cone blender. Hope you are understanding. V cone blender and double cone blender. Uses గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలండి. Principles గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. I know we are moving faster because we have very less time and we are focusing on it. Okay? V cone blender, okay?
Yes, sir.
Can we move forward? Yeah. Next important పేరులోనే ఉంది చూడండి, ribbon blender. So ribbon blender lo the blades are in ribbon shape. You
Give
can
me
see
time.
here. Yeah, you can see here two blades, helical blades will be there. So this is one blade, and I'll change the color and try to show you. This one is an another blade. So two blades are there. So that's the important part here. So ribbon blender generally works with the principle of shear. In
Yeah.
double cone blender and V cone blender, we don't have shear stress. But in ribbon blender, we have this one. Shear stress is there. So the ribbon-shaped moving blade transfer the shear force to the powder bed contained into non-movable fixed shell. So this throw is a non-movable fixed shell, which is open on the top for material loading. However, lid is provided to close the shell at the time of mixing. It is held in the position two helical movable blades. See, two movable blades. One I quoted in red color, other one is in yellow color. Hope you can see, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, two blades mounted on the same shaft with the long axis. The blades have right and left hand twists. One has one right hand twist, inకొక left hand twist ఉంటుందండి. And are connected to a fixed speed drive. These things are important. Variable speed drive ఉంటుంది, fixed speed drive. Fixed speed drive means they will operate in single speed. Variable speed drive means you can increase and decrease the speeds. Working, the material to be mixed are fat cast opening provided on the top of the shell. After loading, the body is closed with a lid because dry blending may produce dust. So a dust rakudani, we will cover it from the top. So the fixed speed drive makes the ribbon blade rotate. One blade slowly moves the material in one direction, and the second blade quickly moves it in the opposite direction. You can see the directions. This blade is moving in this direction, this blade is moving in other direction, and this difference in direction is reasoning for application of shear stress. Opposite direction లో apply చేస్తేనే shear stress వస్తుంది. Generally located vertical screws lift the material and cascade them at the bottom of the container. This causes tumbling effect. So contracting blades create high shear force. Contracting ఎందుకు opposite direction లో movement ఉంది కాబట్టి. So solid lumps and aggregates are broken down. So the materials are moved from one end to the other end because of the helical shaped blade. So at equilibrium state attained for the final stage of mixing, the operation conditions can affect the steady state and mixing quality. So the produced blend is unloaded from the opening. You can see clearly here for your kind understanding. See, there are two blades connected here, helical blades, right? So they are moving in opposite direction. You can see that, and their position is helical in shape. So the feed is moving continuously forward direction, and these two blades are connected to the same shaft, right, with a fixed speed drive. So the only thing you should remember in ribbon shaped or sigma blade blender is shear stress is applied to increase the size mixing, and shear ఎలా apply అవుతుంది because of two blades present in it, two helical shaped blades or ribbon shaped blades moving in opposite direction. ఇంత గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటే సరిపోతుందండి. Okay, so helical shaped blades moving in opposite directions, ribbon shaped or sigma shaped, right? And shear force is applied because of different direction, movement in different direction. Clear? I'll show you videos of these three equipments also, don't worry. Before closing the class, ఈరోజు చూసిన ఎలిట్రేషన్ ట్యాంక్స్ వీడియో చూస్తామండి. వీకోన్ బ్లెండర్ ఇండస్ట్రీ లెవెల్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, ఐ షో యూ ద వీడియో. డబల్ క్లోన్ బ్లెండర్, ఐ షో యూ ద వీడియో. Sigma blender also, I'll show you the video so that you can get the clarity. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we're moving a little bit forward fast because we don't have time. See, Sigma blender key and ribbon blender key, the difference is the shape of the blades. And shape of the blades here, they are in ribbon shape, but here they are in sigma shape. You can see here clearly. The blades are in sigma shape. So
Wow.
sigma shape blade ఉండడం వల్ల we are calling it as a sigma blade bender. And the principle here two principles. One is shearing, same that of ribbon bender. Other is convection mixing. These two are the principles in sigma blender. Construction you can see as shown in the figure. You will be having two blades, sigma blades, right? Sigma blade mixer as shown in the figure consists of the following parts. So two blades which are in sigma shaped are placed horizontally and parallelly to each other. And these blades provide thorough mixing by rotating at various speeds. Second difference and ikkada the speed is fixed speed. Fixed speed drive. Here variable speed drive ఉంటుంది. So one blade we can move faster, one blade we can move slower. So that results in tumbling and convection mechanism. So working the material to be mixed right from the top of the container after loading the body is closed. Commonly, the blending may produce dust. So generally, we thicken the granules and close the lid. So sigma blades are made to rotate with the help of fixed speed drive. The blades move at differential speed. So Panam, one moves twice with the speed of the other. It is important. Whereas in this case, both are
Same
moving with
speed.
the same speed but in opposite direction. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can clearly see. ఇది ఈ డైరెక్షన్ లో మూవ్ అయితే ఇది ఈ డైరెక్షన్ లో మూవ్ ఆపోజిట్ డైరెక్షన్ whereas here they are moving in the same direction but different speed. One speed is one blade speed is twice the speed of the other blade. So that point you should remember in sigma blender. So that causes the sharing effect. The blade turns towards each other, thus material moves from side to the central of the bow. So the material further moves from top to the downwards, then shear between the blades and the container walls is seen. In this way, convective mixing is seen. ఇది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. So convective mixing, differential speed of the two blades, and along with the mixing, shearing, convection is seen in the sigma blender. So, ఇవి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. I'm not going into like all the details. We are just focusing what to remember. That's it. Okay. So where we are using this in manufacturing of pills, manufacturing of
Yeah.
ointments, manufacturing of tablets, right? In solid mixing, we are using this in rubber industry, food industry, cosmetic industry, chemical industries. We are going to use Sigma blade blenders. So today we have seen V-cone blender, double cone blender, right? Next illustration tanks, next ribbon blender and Sigma blender, right? 5 minutes class. Then, so after Sigma blender, what is the next important, very important equipment is planetary mixture. Planetary word వచ్చింది. The reason is of because of the name of the gear, planetary gear. So this gear helps this blade to rotate like a planet, rotate and revolve. రెండు చేస్తుందండి. So one is this blade is rotating on its own axis. Second thing is this is also rotating in this vessel, revolving in this vessel. So these two actions are seen in this blade. So we call it planetary mixture. So the name came from the planetary gear. I'll show you the videos also. So let's fastly see this planetary mixture. The planetary mixture, the mixing blade or the beater blade rotates in planetary motion. Within the mixing bowl. Thus, the mixer is used for mixing dry and wet powders like light paste, gels, duffs, and other preparations. So, వాడతాం. Food and bakery industry లో planetary mixer చాలా వాడతాం. Principle in planetary mixing, the blade tears the mass apart and causes shearing. See, In V-cone blenders, double cone blenders, shear లేకపోవడం is the limitation. Whereas in Sigma blender, ribbon blender, planetary blenders, the principle itself is shearing. That you should remember, right? So the mixing blade reaches every spot of the mixing by moving in two directions, around its own axis and around its central axis. చెప్పానా? Its own axis కూడా మూవ్ అవుతుంది, central axis లో కూడా మూవ్ అవుతుంది. So rotations and revolutions both are seen. So convection action is also achieved because of the blades has sloping mechanism. చూడండి, second thing, along with shear mechanism, they're giving convection mechanism also because of the one major ఇలా slopy blades ఉండడం వల్ల, right? Sloping blades ఉండడం వల్ల convection mechanism is also being seen in planetary mixtures. Okay, so see the construction. Planetary mixture consists of a stationary stainless steel vessel. Vessel can be detached from its position either by raising the blade to above of the vessel or lowering the vessel below the blade. The mixing blade is attached from the vessel top, whereas the mixing shaft is moved with the help of electric motor. Initially, the blade moves slowly to allow the pre-mixing ingredients, but later high speeds can be achieved. So variable speed drive ఉంటుంది, not fixed speed drive. That is the important thing you should remember, right? Coming to working in planetary mixer, the agitator undergoes planetary motion. Again, the same thing, speaking about this beater blade. Beater blade anandi, blade anandi, agitator anandi, same thing. Planetary motion is the concept. It rotates around its own axis as well as around the central axis. So మీకు అర్థం కావడానికి better I'll show you a video of planetary mixture.
Globe.
Yeah, like globe, but if you see it clearly, you will understand. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
వీడియో కనిపిస్తుందా అండి?
Yes, sir.
బేకరీలో కాన్ఫెక్షనరీస్ తో ప్లేట్ కనిపిస్తుంది క్లియర్. దిస్ ఇస్ ద ప్లానెటరీ మిక్సర్. ఇండస్ట్రీ స్కేల్ లో కొంచెం పెద్దగా ఉంటాయండి.
Stainless steel.
See, planetary motion. It's revolving in its own axis and also in the central axis. కనిపిస్తుందా అండి?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is what I want to show in planetary mixers. See, so scraper blade is also there for uniform mixing. So ఎలాగో వీడియో ఆన్ చేసాం కాబట్టి I'll show you Sigma blender also. I don't know exactly, but it's available in the internet or not. Yeah, good, super. Can you see the Sigma shaped blades
Yes, sir.
on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Two Sigma blades in opposite direction. This is Sigma blender. Okay. So these ice cream, bakery items and all. Next, double
Plates.
V-cone and double cone blender. I hope you have already seen these in your labs and all. Yeah. Can you see the V-cone blender?
Yes, sir.
See, ఎలా మిక్స్ చేస్తుందో చూడండి, సపరేట్ చేస్తుంది మెటీరియల్. అగైన్ ఇట్స్ మిక్సింగ్ ఇట్ బ్యాక్. సో ఎఫిషియన్సీ ఆఫ్ మిక్సింగ్ ఉంటుంది వీక్ ఆన్ బ్లెండర్. సో కాన్సెప్ట్ విచ్ we learned you can see here clearly how it's mixing. This is weak on blender. I'll show you double cone blender also. Already you know it, but this, this is double cone blender. Hope you can see it, right? Next, I'll show you illustration time.
Bun shape.
Illustration time, so they are too big to understand in this case. Let me show you on this one. Yeah. See how illustration tanks are working. So liquid is moving in one direction, heavier particles are moving in opposite direction. సో చూడండి heavier particles కింద సెడిమెంట్ అయిపోతున్నాయి, లైట్ పార్టికల్స్ పైకి వెళ్ళిపోతున్నాయి. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
So these are illustration tanks. So one time అన్ని వీడియోస్ పెడతా అయిపోతుందని I tried to show you. So these are certain equipment in mixing what we discussed. So planetary mixer lo, so the planetary gear is important because it is helping the beater blade to rotate around its own axis and around the central axis. This is a good fit call. And two mechanisms: cascading mechanism, convection mechanism, and shearing kuda jarugutundi. And shear convection mechanism ki reason is these slanted blades. Okay, so this is about mixing. Then propellers chala easy andi chuskondi, chala simple. You have different type of propellers, you can see uh, circular disc type are there, blade type are there, flat blade type are there, pitched blade type propellers are there. So I don't think this is tough to discuss. I'm not focusing on it so that you can focus. Silverson homogenizer ఒకటి చెప్పుకున్నాము. ఈ ప్రొపెల్లర్స్, టర్బైన్స్ అండ్ ఇంకోటి ఏదో ఉంది కదా, పాడల్స్. ఇది జస్ట్ ఫోకస్ అవుతుంది, చూసుకోండి. ప్రొపెల్లర్స్ చాలా సింపుల్ గా ఉంటాయండి. అవి బ్లేడ్స్ లాగా ఉంటాయి, ఫిన్స్ ఉండొచ్చు, బ్లేడ్స్ ఉండొచ్చు వాటికి. జనరల్లీ దే ఆర్ యూస్ ఫర్ మిక్సింగ్. సో దీస్ ఆల్ ఆర్ ప్రొపెల్లర్స్. సో డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్. అండ్ యూజెస్ జనరల్లీ దే ఆర్ యూస్ ఫర్ లిక్విడ్ మిక్సింగ్, like preparations of solutions, elixir, syrup preparations జనరల్ గా వాడతామండి. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సింది ఇది ఒకటి, మెరిట్స్ లో 8,000 RPM స్పీడ్ దాకా తీసుకెళ్ళచ్చు. దట్స్ ద వన్ ఆఫ్ ద advantage. Then turbines also, we have a lot of turbines, different types are there: flat bladed turbines, pitched bladed turbines, short blade turbines, circular disc and all. They are so simple and no need to focus, just ఒకసారి చూసుకొని సరిపోతుంది. ప్యాడల్స్ లో కూడా ఫ్లాట్ బ్లేడెడ్ ప్యాడల్స్, గేటెడ్ ప్యాడల్స్, యాంకర్ ప్యాడల్స్ అండ్ కౌంటర్ రొటేటింగ్ ప్యాడల్స్. సో టైప్ ఆఫ్ ప్యాడల్స్ కూడా చూసుకోండి. అండ్ స్పీడ్స్ ఫర్ ప్యాడల్స్ ఇస్ లైక్ 100 RPM స్పీడ్ ఈజ్ జనరల్లీ మెయింటైన్ ఫర్ ప్యాడల్స్. సో ప్రొపెల్లర్స్ కి స్పీడ్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది, 8,000 RPM దాకా వెళ్తుంది. నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చేసి సిల్వర్సన్ హోమోజనైజర్. సార్ క్లాస్ లో ఉన్నారు, మళ్ళీ ఫోన్ చేస్తాను, 10 minutes రిటర్న్ కాల్ చేస్తాను. ఇది సారే. Silverson homogenizer, this is written call. This is very, very, very important equipment andi. Generally we use this in preparation of emulsions especially. So it's a construction you should understand. You can see it clearly. ఇక్కడ చూడండి అండి, ఇది ఉంది కదా, దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఇంపార్టెంట్ పార్ట్. దిస్ ఇస్ ఎమల్సిఫికేషన్ హెడ్ అంటామండి. ఇలా రౌండ్ డిస్క్ లాగా ఉంటుంది, ఇలా ఉంటుందండి రౌండ్ డిస్క్. ఈ రౌండ్ డిస్క్ లో యూ కెన్ సీ సమ్ స్మాల్ హోల్స్. ఐ షో యూ. ఇందులో మీకు అక్కడ బ్లాక్ బ్లాక్ గా కనిపిస్తుంది, ఇలా హోల్స్ లాగా ఉంటుంది. ఇలా హోల్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, ఇందులోంచి వి విల్ ఫోర్స్ ద లిక్విడ్ టు కమ్ అవుట్ అన్నమాట. అలా ఎలా చేస్తాం సార్ అంటే మధ్యలో బ్లేడ్ ఉంటుంది. సో ఇది ఉంది కదా, సో అప్పుడు నేను ఎల్లో కలర్ వేసిందేమో ప్లేట్ అనుకోండి, ఆ రెడ్ కలర్ అన్ని ఆ స్మాల్ what can we say dots. Now the blade here is something like this. ఇలా మధ్యలో బ్లేడ్ ఉంటుంది, బ్లేడ్ కి ఇలా పైన యాక్సెస్ ఇది. సో ఇక్కడ ఈ మధ్యలో బ్లేడ్ ఉంది, రైట్. ఐ షో యూ ద వీడియో ఆల్సో సో దట్ యూ కెన్ క్లియర్లీ అండర్స్టాండ్. మీకు ఫస్ట్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ అర్థం కావడానికి చెప్తున్నాను. సో ఫస్ట్ సీ ద కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ అండ్ ఫస్ట్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఇన్వాల్వ్డ్ ఇన్ Silverson homogenizer, shearing force. So you can see again here also shearing is the major principle, and the turbulence produced by the high speed rotor. The fluid passes through the fine spaces formed by the closely placed perforated metal sheet. నేను ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ డ్రా చేశానా, this is yellow colored perforated metal sheet. Okay, construction లో. Next, the fluid passes through fine spaces formed on this sheet. So a black colored or red colored dots are the fine spaces through which fluid is passing. That's good, right? So the material circulates to the head by the suction produced in the inlet at the head bottom. As the material circulates, the dispersed fluids rapidly break down into smaller globules. So ila lopaliki vachetappudu, ila liquid lopaliki enter ayinappudu ee small holes nundi ikkada size reduce avutadi. Okay, so we will see that in video part also so that you will understand it clearly. Okay, just see the construction, you will understand. Silverson homogenizer or Silverson mixture consists of long supporting column connected to motor EV. Okay, first point. Then it has centrally located shaft with one end connected to the motor and other end connected to the head. This shaft, one end connected to the motor, other end is connected to the head. This is the centrally located shaft connected to the motor. So turbine blades are present in the head. నేను ఇక్కడ డ్రా చేసి చూపెట్టాను కదండి, ఇక్కడ ఇది టర్బైన్ బ్లేడ్స్, రైట్? వింటున్నారా? So these blades are surrounded by a mesh enclosed by the covering having small openings. So ఈ టర్బైన్ బ్లేడ్ చుట్టూ ఈ కవరింగ్ ఉంది, ఇందులో స్మాల్ ఓపెనింగ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. క్లియర్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ Silverson homogenizer. Now I'll show you the video also so that you will understand it much more better way. Coming to working, the head of the Silverson homogenizer is placed in the vessel containing immiscible fluid. It can be an oil and water in such a way that it gets completely immersed in the fluid on starting the motor. The central rotating shaft rotates the head at a very high speed, which further rotates the turbine blades to its same speed, thus creating a pressure difference. As a result, fluid in the center of the base is sucked into the head, subjected to the intense mixing action. So ఏమైతుంది, ఆ ఫ్లూయిడ్ అంతా ఇందులోకి సక్ అవడం స్టార్ట్. సో ఫ్లూయిడ్ అంతా ఈ హెడ్స్ లోకి సక్ అవడం స్టార్ట్ అయింది, బికాస్ టర్బైన్ హై స్పీడ్ లో మూవ్ అవుతుంది. సో ప్రెషర్ డిఫరెన్స్ క్రియేట్ అయింది 2 points లో. సో లిక్విడ్ ఇస్ బీయింగ్ సక్డ్ ఇన్సైడ్. Okay, the content of the head are forcefully expelled through the mesh and onto the cover of centrifugal force. Fine emulsion is obtained through the opening of outer cover. This intake and expulsion of mixer set up such a circulation pattern that bigger globules rapidly break down into smaller globules. Let us see this in a video so that you can clearly understand. So this will be the last equipment discussed today.
Geetika?
Yeah.
ఒక్క నిమిషం నాకు ఇంత క్లాస్ నీకోసం
You can
క్లాస్
clearly see the Silverson homogenizer picture లో I'll show you the animated part. Yeah. Please have a look on this video. This is what we discussed. Oil globules ఉన్నాయండి. You can see the blade and a metal sheet of plate with small holes, right? So అదేం చేస్తుంది, స్ట్రక్ చేస్తుంది. స్ట్రక్ చేసి బ్లేడ్
నాకు
సైజ్
క్లాస్
రెడ్యూస్ చేసేసి పార్టికల్స్ ని ఇట్ వాస్ reducing it into the particles. See, this is how Silverson
కాదు నాన్న,
homogenizer is
అయిపోయింది.
working. I will reduce the
పోయేసి
speed and
ఇప్పుడు
I'll show you so that you can clearly see what's happening. Yeah. So I decrease the speed of the video so that you can clearly see. See how globules are being sucked because of difference in pressure head. Size speed తగ్గించానండి so that you can see it clearly. See what's happening now when this is how Silverson homogenizer is working. So centrifugal force is driving in those particles and their beam size reduced, a globule size is completely reduced. So mixing and size reduction, both actions are being taken place here. So they are rapidly milled between the rotor blade. Hydraulic shear is being formed. And this is how Silverson homogenizer is working. Hope you people are understanding. Yes? You can see one more video. ఈ బ్లేడ్ క్లియర్ గా కనిపించాలని పెడుతున్నాను. చూడండి how mixing efficiency you can see clearly. So in pharmaceutical industries, cosmetic industries, and many industries we are using this Silverson homogenizer. Especially these are conventional and normal homogenizers. This is the Silverson homogenizer. There is a lot of variation just because of its structure. This video already we have seen. Still, we are focusing on it so that you can understand better all these equipments. So these are the mixing equipments what we discussed. Please remember the principles. ఏ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ ఏ ప్రిన్సిపల్ వాడుతుంది, ఎలాంటి ప్రొడక్ట్స్ కోసం యూజ్ చేస్తున్నామో is enough. So shear force, high shear is used in Silverson homogenizers. And I hope this is enough to understand. No need to focus on more. So we have done with size reduction, size separation, mixing and homogenization. Right? In next class, we'll start discussing evaporation and distillation. Distillation chala important and you need to focus because azeotropic distillation and fractional distillation, molecular distillation, different equipments used in distillation is very, very important. We'll see in the next class. So after this class, you will be having chemistry class. Sir is connecting from Punjab, from Lowly Professional University. People who haven't joined also inform them so that they can join the class. Your friends if they haven't joined it. So most probably link compare leda sir. I'll check it back and I'll get you back. Okay.
Sir, can you please
Yes.
share the notes of today's class, sir?
Yes, sure. I will.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.